January 8th, 2020. Weekday in the season of Christmas.
A reading from the first letter of St. John. Beloved, if God so loved us, we also must love one another. No one has ever seen God, yet if we love one another, God remains in us, and His love is brought to perfection in us. This is how we know that we remain in Him and He in us, that He has given us of His Spirit. Moreover, we have seen and testify that the Father sent His Son as Savior of the world. Whoever acknowledges that Jesus is the Son of God, God remains in Him and He in God. We have come to know and to believe in the love God has for us. God is love, and whoever remains in love remains in God and God in him. In this is love brought to perfection among us, that we have confidence on the day of judgment, because as He is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment, and so one who fears is not yet perfect in love. The Word of the Lord.
The Responsorial Psalm. The response is, Lord, every nation on earth will adore you. O God, with your judgment endow the king, and with your justice the king's son. He shall govern your people with justice, and your afflicted ones with judgment. Lord, every nation on earth will adore you. The kings of Tarshish and the isles shall offer gifts. The kings of Arabia and Seba shall bring tribute. Lord, every nation on earth will adore you. For He shall rescue the poor when he cries out, and the afflicted when he has no one to help him. He shall have pity for the lowly and the poor. The lives of the poor He shall save. Lord, every nation on earth will adore you.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. After the 5,000 had eaten and were satisfied, Jesus made His disciples get into the boat and precede Him to the other side toward Bethsaida, while He dismissed the crowd. And when He had taken leave of them, He went off to the mountain to pray. When it was evening, the boat was far out on the sea, and He was alone on shore. Then He saw that they were tossed about while rowing, for the wind was against them. About the 4th watch of the night, He came toward them walking on the sea. He meant to pass by them. But when they saw Him walking on the sea, they thought it was a ghost and cried out. They had all seen Him and were terrified. But at once He spoke with them. "Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid." He got into the boat with them, and the wind died down. They were completely astounded. They had not understood the incident of the loaves. On the contrary, their hearts were hardened. The Gospel of the Lord.